Right, we're back again, and this time I'm going to cook a spatchcock chicken in the Dome XL, and we're going to use wood. So, really cool thing about this oven is we're going to cook, because it's so good, this is the amount of wood, just this little handful is all we're going to need to cook an entire chicken. So, let's tuck into it. Let's show you how you fire this thing up. We're going to use the woodfire control kit, and then I'll show you our spatchcock chicken, and it should take no more than 35-40 minutes to cook. So let's fire it out. Right, first things first, what we're going to do is we're actually going to connect the woodfire control unit to the thermometer on the dock. It has its own like wireless, like Bluetooth connection. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So let me just go and grab the unit. Take the door off as well, actually, get that out of the way. Okay, so let me bring you in and show you this. What we have here, we have the woodfire control unit and we have the dock. Okay, so we turn on the dock. Okay, let's just turn that on. And what's going to happen, that's going to turn on. You saw this in my other video, and currently it's 12 degrees outside. It's 14 degrees on the stone, so it's very cold inside there. Now what we do is we hold down. So I'm going to turn this on as well. I'm going to hold down, turn on the woodfire control unit, and what I do is if I just hold down the button there, it's actually already connected, but I'm just going to show you. It's going to hold it down and it's going to say con for connect, and then what you do is you hold down the button on the woodfire control unit, and what will happen is that will start to flash. Let's give it a second. It should start to flash. There you go, the ring is flashing, if you can see that, and then it turns itself off and then on again, and it is connected basically. What will happen is you should see it any sec. There you go. You see that little symbol there? That little fan symbol? So what happens with that, this is really, really clever. Let me see if I can show you both in the same screen. Let me see if it will focus down there for you. What happens is, as I turn the woodfire control unit up, you're going to see that if I turn it up one, you're going to see it's going to start to climb. So you can basically see what fan speed you're at. There you go, I've gone up to full, like on the screen, which is pretty cool. So it's just a nice little addition. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to turn that right down because we don't need that on just yet. We're going to load it into the side of the oven, into the dock for it. So that just goes into the side of the oven just here. Going to push that in there, and that's ready to go. Right, let's fire it up on wood. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our wood rack. We're going to get our little rack here. Just going to put it in the mouth of the oven. We're going to get one of these little firelighters. These are like, it's just wood basically. It's been soaked. So they're eco firelighters. So we're going to get one of those. We're going to put it towards the back, so it's going to be closer towards where the airflow is coming in. And just got a few bits of wood, so we're going to start with our slightly smaller bits, and we're going to put them, actually no, we're going to start with our bigger bits at the bottom. So a couple of chunks, like this is probably actually overkill for what we need, and then I'm just going to get a couple of little bigger bits above, and then we're going to just put one more, let's just slide that in, one more above it there. Let me just bring you in and show you what I've got. One thing, when you are running this oven, just make sure, it does come with a flue cap, just make sure you take the flue cap off, otherwise it's not going to draw up properly and you're going to get a sooted front of the oven. So, let's light this up. Let's just get this in there, get this lit. It shouldn't take long to get it going, and I'm just going to let this basically light up. So that's it basically, that's that just firelighter lit. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to slide this into the oven like that, and you see that over there, and we're just going to let that do its thing for a few minutes, and then what I'll do is once it's caught some of that wood, I'll use the woodfire control unit just to pump it full of oxygen to really get that burn going. Okay, and we're going to basically just let this get up to temperature. It'll probably skyrocket to, I mean, we're looking probably to get it up to about 300 degrees air temperature. Now we're not looking, spin you back around, we are not looking to get like a crazy stone temperature in there. We're not looking to saturate the stone. We just want to get that, crank that air temperature up. The stone temp, when we get to about 300 degrees, stone temp will probably be reading about 140, 150, something like that. When it hits 300 degrees, what's going to happen, like the wood would have burnt out at that point, and it's going to go down to embers. And what I'm going to do is going to slide the chicken in. We're going to use one of the thermometers. One of these come with the oven, like I explained in my other video where I cooked multiple pizzas. And we're going to basically keep an eye on the chicken. But whilst that's just starting to light, what I'll do is, I've got a lovely chicken here, we'll spatchcock it and we'll get it all prepped and ready to go in for when the oven's at the right temperature. Right, let me put some gloves on. I've got some gloves out here because I don't want to be handling the raw chicken too much. So I don't have a sink out here, and I don't want to have to go in and out all the time. So just going to put these gloves on. Oven is starting to light that wood now. So any second I'm going to put on that wood-fired unit, and we're just going to basically just pump some oxygen into there. You know what, I could probably do that now. Let's bring you in. Okay, so when you initially light these, you're going to get that sort of like little bit of a dirty burn, okay, and you're going to get a bit of a spewing out the oven. You see a lot of smoke's coming out the top, but you're going to get a little bit, but that has started to ignite now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come around here, going to just turn on our wood-fired unit, okay, and I'll show you this. If you get in there and you watch the flame, okay, we're going to start cranking it up, and what you'll see that sort of fierceness at the back of the oven there, where it's really starting to push air in, and that's just going to get our burn going so fast. You see it, and you can hear it, and you can see how quickly that's going to come up. And it's just such an efficient way of getting this oven going. And it basically just saves you time, because you're just flooding warm air. So what it's doing is it's pulling all of the cool or warm air from underneath, basically, and then just flooding it up through the floor and up through the little gap that's in the back there. And it's just absolutely going to get, you're going to get a fierce bit of heat going on in there. Can you see on here? We're running on full. It actually has a boost mode. I believe if you double tap it, there we go. Oh, there you go. See, it's gone orange. You get like, I think it's about 30 seconds or a minute of absolute boost. And you can really hear it. It's really going for it. So, whilst that is doing its thing, let's sort out this chicken. Okay, so what I've got here, got a nice chicken, nice free-range chicken, and we're gonna spatchcock it. So again, I'm not a chef, but I kind of know how to do this. So I'm gonna flip it around. Got this thing here. This is called the parson's nose. You're gonna want a really sharp knife or some scissors for this. And basically, I'm just gonna cut down. Oh, can I get through it? Here we go. Gonna cut down this part of the chicken here. And what we're going to do, essentially doing, we're taking out this kind of bone here so we can flatten out the chicken, basically. So we're going to go the other side. I don't even know what this part of the chicken is. But I did this with a knife when I did the demo because we didn't have any scissors. Probably could do with better scissors. So we're going to take that out. Can get rid of that, we'll discard that, and then what we got the chicken here, right? And what we can do is we turn the chicken over, okay? We're going to take off this string, so we don't need the string hold, trussing it together. We just get rid of that, and then what we're going to do, you just flatten it out, basically push down on the breast, and we can flatten out our chicken. And there, what we've done now is we've got less surface area on that chicken. So basically, we can put that in a pan, and it's going to cook in like half the time of a whole chicken. So what I've got here, I've got a nice little dish here. Got some herbage going on. Sorry, there's a wasp here. Got a bit of butter. Got some herbs. So what I'm going to do is I've got some rosemary and thyme. Just going to lay them down on the underside of the chicken. Now this chicken is going to end up being, half of this is going to be for me today, and the rest of it is going to be for my little boy's school lunches. He's going to have some chicken sandwiches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the butter. It's going to go on the underside, a couple of little bits of that, because I'm going to use that to baste it halfway through. And what we're going to do, we're going to get our chicken, and we're just going to lay our chicken in this pan. Going to put a couple of bits of butter over the top, which is going to melt down and give us some nice crispy skin, hopefully, and a bit of colour on there. So there's a wasp over here. Right, we'll get rid of that. And then I can take my gloves off now because I don't need them on anymore. A little bit of olive oil just to get the party started as well. All over. And then I've got salt and pepper. Good grinding of salt. And good smash of pepper on there. So we've got our salt and pepper chicken ready to go in the oven when it cools down. So let's go and have a look at the oven and see how it's doing. So the fan has done its thing. I'm just going to get in here with, this is like a utility peel, and I'm just going to move the wood around a little bit. I actually don't know if we're going to need much more than what I could probably get this cooked on what's in there. No, you know what? We're going to go with one more bit. We're going to go with a smaller bit, this bit here. Not sure what wood it is. We're going to get that in there. So we're just going to lay that on top, just over there. This might be overkill, but it's less than what I sort of thought. There we go, let's get it in there. Move it around, there we go, we get it on top. It's really nice having this wood rack. Basically what it does, like I said in my other videos, it sort of raises the wood off of the floor of the oven. It allows air to flow underneath it. And you can see that's absolutely pumping now. I mean, we've been going probably 6 minutes, something like that. And you can see we're up at 100 degrees on the air temperature. Fan speed is on full. And that's just absolutely flying now. Beautiful flame. One thing I haven't shown you yet with the chicken is we're gonna get our probe. We're just gonna basically stick it right in the thickest part, right at the breast there, all the way in. And basically that is gonna plug in. So that's just like that. And that's gonna plug into the sort of front sensor, the front sensor on the oven just here. And it will give us a really good reading of the temperature of the chicken. So actually I can just plug that in now. I'll put the chicken on the side table, get it ready. We'll put it in number 1, because then I can show you what the reading is going to say there. So we've plugged that in, and immediately the chicken, I got it out of the fridge a little while ago. Look, it's only reading 6 degrees. So you can see exactly where we're at right now. 167 on the air temperature, 168. We have a full battery, we have full fan speed. The deck temp is 82 degrees, 83 now. And what we didn't do is we're actually going to use the timer, and we're going to see how long this chicken takes as well. You can see that all that wood is all nicely lit. We're getting a really nice clean burn. You see there's no smoke puffing out the top of the oven, nothing spewing out the face of the oven. And you know, this is only taking a few minutes just to get up to temperature. And I actually think that this chicken, probably from past experience, like I said, I did a demo, and we actually cooked 2 chickens on wood. I personally think you can fit 3 inside this oven. You can fit 3 spatchcock chickens or 3 whole chickens inside this oven, depending on the size of the tray that you use. Or, you know, we could fit this whole chicken, we could fit a whole tray of roasties in there as well, stuff like that. You've got I mean, when I put it in there, you'll see how much room I've got. I'm going to put it quite far from the fire. We're going to go on the left-hand side of the oven, and there's bags of space in this thing to cook for a whole family. But here we go, look, we're up here, 193, 197, it's flying up now, 198. The temperature absolutely flies up on wood. Like if you get there, go 200 degrees already. If you get this thing going, you can really like pump some heat into there. And I mean, just look at it, beautiful flame. Like you can fit. Also, let me just show you this actually. Now I've got it running on wood. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can actually fit 2 pizzas in here at the same time. So with the wood grate in there, you know, you can fit a whole pizza all the way over here. You can go to the back there, and you can fit another one in here. So you can actually fit two 12-inch pizzas in here at the same time, still whilst running wood. And the beauty of using this as well, it acts as a bit of a flame guard. So you're not too far, not too close to the flame. But at the same time, if I grab, let's have a look at the large peel. We'll just grab the large one from up here. So this is 14-inch, easily 14-inch wood-fired, straight in there. Let's line them up. Let's grab the 16-inch as well, the XL peel. Oh, drop that. And then you've got your 16-inch pizza, and look how much room you've still got in there. Like, you go right over there, you can go away from the fire. So you can do, like, if you really just want to run this as a wood-fired unit, you've now got so much extra space. If you want to do some coal-fired pizza, because this thing can take charcoal as well, you can do low and slow, like proper New Haven style coal-fired. Look at that. That is just a beautiful thing. I'm going to spread that fire out a little bit now. Now it's all just caught nicely. So I'm just going to use the utility peel. We're just going to spread it out. And you can still see that fan is doing its thing. If I turn the fan off, you'll see what happens. Right, let's just turn it. That's boosting it. Whoops. Let me turn it off. I tapped it while it was on full. Right, let me turn it off. And you can see it's just going to now go back to doing its thing naturally. Flame is going to just dance around a little bit. I mean, to be honest, I don't need the fan on now because that was just to get it going. I can just let that now burn out and burn down into coals. We're going to want to keep some of the bigger coals actually closer towards the middle, because we are going to use that control unit to kind of keep the fire going, basically keep the heat going in it. So I'm going to have a little clean up of all the bits and bobs here, and then I've got to cut the grass. So this is the cool thing about this oven. Like, once I've put that door on, once I just like play with that control unit a little bit and keep that fire going, I can go and do something else for 20 minutes, and I'll just come back 20 minutes later, give the chicken one turn. To be honest, because it's going to have a decent amount of heat on this side of the oven as well, like, because that flame's rolling across and it's bouncing off the other side, it will brown on that side without me doing anything, and it will get a colour all the way around, but I just like to rotate it just to make sure it gets a really even cook. And 20 minutes, give it a turn, go and do something else. Wife's got me doing some gardening today, so yeah, I need to cut the grass, give it one last cut before winter sets in, and then you just come back to it, and in 40 odd minutes we should have some epic chicken. So let's just clean up and I'll show you sliding it in. We're almost ready to put this in. It's just now, the flames are just starting to die off a little bit, and if you have a look, I'm going to flip you around. Just like I thought, we hit 300 degrees. So we've got an air temp of 300. Base temp's a little bit warmer at 176, but that's absolutely fine. That's reading over there. That's the core temperature. I'm using quite a nice thick sort of enamel pan, so not too much heat is going to transfer through the bottom. And that's one of the reasons that I put the herbs underneath the chicken as well, is because it's going to raise the chicken slightly off the base. But if you look at this, it's just starting to die down. We're just going to wait until there's no flame present, so that's properly died down to embers. Just going to move them around a little bit closer towards the back, like that. Yeah, that pretty much, it's all charcoaling down now. Like, at this point, if you wanted to keep your fire burning a lot longer, and keep heat pumping for a long time, this is your moment to stick a bit of charcoal on there, and you can do a bit of like the minion method, where one bit of charcoal sitting next to another keeps going. That's how I've done like long short rib like, and bakes before, like cooks before, like smoked short ribs and stuff like that, is I've used charcoal, I've used a little bit of smoking wood, stuff like that. I've chucked it in there. By all means as well, once the flames are gone, if you want to start using some smoking wood, if you want to stick a bit of like chunk of whatever on there, chunk of apple, chunk of cherry, nice little cherry smoke. I might actually have some of that actually. One second. Just checked my cabinet. I don't. I've got some plum wood chips, but they'll just smoke out too quickly anyway. You want like a nice block that smoulders. But we're almost down to the last little bits of flame. We're just going to maneuver the wood over just so it's sort of closer, so I can keep that heat pumping. Right, if you have a look in there, I'm going to get you as close as I can without burning it. You see that? We're just down to like coals and the last little bit of flame. That last little lick is just going to die off now. So we can now slide that chicken in. So what we got, chicken here. Just going to get our little cable up here. We're going to slide the chicken in. We're going to go right over to this side. And if you have a look at that, look how much room is in this oven. If we were to go towards the back there, you could fit another one there and another one there. But we're going to go towards the back there. Just going to run that down there. Yep, flames have gone. Time for me to get my door on. And if you have a look, you see the door's got this little cut out there. That's just to let the cable through. Just going to line our door up. Oven is sitting, there you go, 270, it's actually just jumped up because I put the door on, 274. What we're going to do now is I'm going to let that drop off to about probably, I mean, it's gone up 275. I'm just going to let that drop off a little bit. Let's set the timer, actually. Timer's on, chicken's gone in. I'll come back, I'll check on it in about 5 minutes and we'll see what the temperature's at and whether or not I need to use the wood fire control unit to keep those coals going. You see there's a little wisps of smoke's coming out. And then, yeah, we'll see where we're at. But it's actually raising temperature. Look at that, it's rising up now because the door's on. That's how good this thing is. If you have a look, we're 4 minutes in from when the chicken pretty much went in and we're at 256. What I'm going to do, I don't want that temperature to drop much more. So we're going to come around here. We're going to turn our wood fire control unit on. And we're probably going to go about, I'd say level 2 or level 3. So yeah, there we go. We're at level 2. And that's just going to be pushing, actually let's go up one more notch. See if we can get up to level 3. Let's have a look. There we go. We're at level 3. And what that's going to do, that's just going to keep that oxygen flowing. You can hear it. Chicken is now, it's up a couple of degrees. It went in, I think it was 6 or 7 when it went in. We're up at 10 already. And we're just going to let that sit. And what that should do, that temperature shouldn't really drop. I know that's quite hot, but that's like the sensor at the back of the oven. And I want to cook this chicken hot. I want to cook it fast. And, you know, like we want to get a nice bit of colour on it as well. So we're looking for like a 35-minute, 40-minute cook on this thing. And this is just to show you, I mean, look, I didn't even use all the wood that I had in that pile. The biggest chunk, I didn't even bother putting that on. It's just a kiln-dried hardwood. You know, I'm sort of want to show you that you can use this oven with minimal amount of fuel. You know, I could have showed you doing this on gas as well. You can cook like a whole chicken dinner with gas because it has that lower flame setting. Again, today I've got quite a bit of wind and stuff like that, and obviously I fancied showing you on wood. I wanted to use the door as well. You know, look, we're at 253. It's now holding temperature. Go look at that. It's not dropping, you know, and that's because we've got the door on. We've got that wood fire control unit just flooding it with a little bit more oxygen, just keeping everything going, keeping that burn going, keeping those embers just kicking off that little bit of heat. And they will ember down to like next to nothing as well. By the end of this cook, there'll be hardly anything left. So it's super efficient. Chicken's up at 12 degrees now. We're going to probably take it to, you know, safe chicken cooking temperatures like 74. I'll probably take it to like 72. Something like that, and then I'll pull it and rest it and it will rise up a little bit. I might even put it at 71, we'll see. We are 22 minutes into the cook. Chicken is at 37 degrees, oven has dropped to 240. I turned it down ever so slightly because I didn't want it that hot actually. I thought it would drop off a little bit more, but it didn't. So let's pull it out and have a look and give it a spin. Oh mate. Right, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put the door on straight away. Okay, look at that on that side already. But if you have a look, it's coloured all the way around. And we've got browning on that side, even though that side wasn't close to the flame. Listen to that. Already got this crispy I mean, that skin just cracked and shattered. We're going to sit it on the mantle. This is the beauty of having this. You see all that nice buttery goodness in there, that herby buttery goodness. We're going to slide the chicken over. I'm just going to get some of that. I'm just going to pour it all over, get that over the skin. That's just going to help give us a little bit more flavour on the top. It's going to help crisp up that skin as well and give it a little bit more colour. Let's get it on the wings as well. And we can actually turn all that goodness in the bottom of the tray into a gravy at the end as well. Just look at that, man. That is a beautiful looking bit of chicken for now. So, right, let's get that back in. Which way around? It was that way around, wasn't it? Yeah, it was that way. Back into the oven. I can see those embers are glowing still because we've got that, because we've got the air unit going. The embers are still glowing, which is amazing. So yeah, we're just gonna say keep that heat in there. Quick update, we are 35 minutes into the cook. Oven is holding at 211 degrees, which is exactly where I thought it would be. Chicken 48 degrees, so we're looking good. Still looking good. Might be a little bit more than the 40 minutes, but that's absolutely fine. It's probably a slightly bigger chicken than what I previously cooked, but just wanted to show you something as well. I've got my thermometer here. Like, just wanted to like 60 odd degrees on the door. You know, it's so the door is well insulated. When the oven is 200 odd degrees inside, on the outside it's reading that. A lot of people ask me if it gets warm, like it's hot. Now, like, that isn't just warm. Like, I can leave my hand on it for ages, and that's had fire raging in there on the outside. Like, the side is warm. There's no real heat down here, but like, if I just take a reading, it's 30, 26. What is it, 34 degrees? Look at that. 34 degrees on the side of the oven. This side, I mean, it's going to be super chill. Where are we at? 22, 24. Chimney, 28. Like, the exterior of this oven stays a lot cooler. Obviously, if you're running it for hours and hours at like Neapolitan temps, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to be a lot more, but you know, that's just warm. So the exterior of the oven doesn't get that hot if you're running it on wood or you're doing low and slow cooking. Just in case that's the thing, if you're worried about where you're going to put it and stuff like that. So oven is still 207 degrees, just dropped down a little bit. We're at 49 degrees internal. So what's happening is, as that oven temperature is just starting to drop, that chicken is now coming up. It's at 50 degrees now. So base temp 174. So that's the other thing as well, because we've got this thick stone, you've got this insulation underneath it. Even though the air temperature is dropping, like, that base temperature is holding. It's still at 170 degrees. Like, I think what did it get? It got to like 108. It's dropped about 5-6 degrees from when we started. So that is going to also be pumping heat into the oven, and it's just going to keep it hot. So even when that air temperature drops right down, you're still going to be in a really good place for keeping like heat coming up. So heat's coming up through the floor of the oven, cooking it from underneath, and we've got that heat rolling around all the way around the top. So yeah, shouldn't be too much longer. Right, got a bit carried away with the grass. Look, it's cut. Looking good. Anyway, we've left it. It's been 53 minutes. Let me spin you around, show you where we're at. So a little bit longer than I sort of wanted, but I was aiming for. So we're at 53. Air temperature is still 105, 169 on the base. That's held. Chicken, where I've got it, is running at 70 degrees. So I'm going to pull it now. Let's put you over here. Let's bring it out. I've got a nice wooden board just here. We'll place it down here, and we're just going to let it rest, and it should come up to temperature. So let's see. Woo! Oh man, I just got to get some quick pictures of that. Actually, look, this is looking insane. Let me bring it in. Let me show you this. Look at that. Absolute beauty. Like, the colour on that skin, and it's crispy, it's well cooked, and that should still come up. That should come up to temperature nicely. So let me just get a couple of shots of that on the mantle for the gram, as it were. Ooh, hot. Need a good picture of that. Look at that. Right, that's done. Let's have a look at this. Let me just show you. Look at that. Absolute beaut. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to get it. Going to drain it off. Going to get all that herbage from underneath. Going to put it on this board. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it up for a minute as well. I've got some like I've got some barbecue paper here, and we're just going to wrap it up and let it sit. Normally I'd take it indoors, but I'm just going to wrap it for a couple of minutes out here, and that'll just keep it juicy. I'm going to stick that tea towel over it like that. And that should just keep it snugged in. We're going to give it a couple of minutes and then we'll carve it up and we'll see what we're dealing with. Whilst that's resting, I just had the door off and obviously the oven has dropped down, but I just want to show you how well it's ashed down. So let me just grab my wood thing. I need to bring this out. I'll show you how well it's ashed down. Look at that. It's nothing. Still a little bit of glowing embers, but it's just ashed down to absolutely nothing in there. You know, there's embers, look, they're still glowing. You see that? And that's still going to be giving off a little bit of heat, basically. That's because the air's just hit it. But like that small amount of wood, absolutely minimal wood, has managed to cook that whole chicken in under an hour. We're at like just over 50 minutes, something like that. You know, food, I was hoping it was going to be about 35, 40 minutes, more like 40. But, you know, just like with my dough, right? It's not even about timings a lot of the time. It's about temperature. You've got to be guided by the temperature and just let it do its thing, right? No two bits of meat, no two bits of chicken the same. The temperature is going to be different, and that one just took a little bit longer, but still under an hour you got a fully roast chicken. We could have like I say, we could have shoved some potatoes in there, some veggies, stuff like that, and within an hour, like within lighting it, I reckon that was sort of 15 minutes from lighting it for it to die down. You know, an hour and 15 minutes you could have a full roast chicken Sunday dinner in one oven, basically. Which is amazing, on minimal fuel as well. You know, the cost of that is so cheap. Like the wood, like kiln dried wood, isn't ridiculously expensive. You know, I went to my local there's a local farm shop down the road, and they had bags of like nets of kiln dried wood. I think it was like £12.50 for a massive net. It was good wood. I think that was birch, might have been birch, something like that. You know, that's going to burn hotter and faster, I believe. If you can get some nice kiln-dried oak, that's going to give you a long, lower, slower burn. Or you can use a little bit of charcoal, a couple of briquettes, a couple of bits of like lumpwood on there or something like that, and you'll just get that real low and slow burn going on, and you'll maintain that temperature for the whole way. But yeah, a few minutes, and we'll carve it up. Let's give it a carve. Weapon of choice today, I'm using my custom German cut custom Gozney blade. This one, it was gifted to me when I was in Germany a few years ago with Gozney. Paul from Gozney in Germany gifted it to me. So right, that's rested for a few minutes now. Oh mate, you know what, I'm just going to get one more shot for the thumbnail just to make sure. Right, that's enough messing about. Let's give it a carve. Let's just get you in a good position. Right, legs off first. I'm going to be putting it back in the tray with all the butter and herbs so it stays all delicious, but let's just get the legs off. Oh, juicy. Should have got some tongs for this. Oh, bone just fell out. Look at that. That is, oh mate, look, it's just pulling away actually. Look, there we go. Juicy, juicy chicken. Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. Right. Let me just twist that off. Whole cooked chicken leg. Put that in there. Let's get these wings off. Just twist the wings off down there. Sorry, my pizza skills are better than my carving skills. You'll probably notice that. I have no idea how to carve a chicken. But what I do actually like to do is take the whole breast off. So we'll just carve down. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. So have a look at that. Beautiful. I mean, that is juicy chicken. Right, let's carve it up. Let's take the skin off actually, because we can keep the skin. But let's carve this chicken up. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful, juicy chicken. Oh my God. Right. Cooked in just over an hour. Well, no, just under an hour actually, like 50 minutes, start to finish. Whilst I've been cutting the grass and doing other things. So minimal faff. Just going to pull it all off the carcass here. And you know, we're not going to leave this. We're gonna put this in a pan with some herbs, and we're gonna make some stock. You know, which we'll use for something else. Might even, you know, it's getting into soup season, so we might make some soup. But we're just going to make sure we get all the chicken off this bone as well, and it will come clean. But you know, it's a really good way, a really easy way, you know, wishbone of roasting the chicken really efficiently, really quickly, minimal fuel, minimal faff. And now I have chicken for my lunch. I've got chicken for my little boy's sandwich for school, and I can make some soup or something with the carcass and leftovers. So there you go, whole tray of roast chicken. Beautiful. Right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. Another cook on the Dome Gen 2 XL. Sorry about my carving skills. They are not that great. I'm much better at cooking pizza, as you may have noticed. But, you know, still holding 140 degrees air temperature, 148 on the stone. An hour and 11 minutes in since we actually just put the chicken in now. Time is still going, so we're just going to turn everything off. You know, we've used hardly any battery power on the control unit, minimal fuel, oven is clean, it just needs a little hoover out and we're ready to run again. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. You know, if you're liking these videos, if you want to see me cook some other stuff, let me know what you want to see this, what want to see cooked in here, and how to use it, like other dishes. Any ideas that you guys have got, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear what you want me to cook. You know, I like to eat meats. I like to eat steak. I like to cook all kinds of things. Actually, I've got quite a fat tomahawk in the freezer, which I might pull out, and I might do that next. Actually, I might do a wood-fired tomahawk or do a reverse sear, so do it low and slow, and then ramp up the temperature to give it a vicious sear, because you can do that in there as well. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give me a subscribe down in the corner, and if you haven't already seen it, then check out the multiple pizzas I baked in this oven just up here in this corner, because that's a really cool video. I showcased the whole thing. So thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.